everybody, and welcome to yet another edition of Friday Foolish. This is our third show, and I'm very excited about it because we're going to once again be talking about not only vinyl collecting, but any kind of collecting that you want to talk about. As long as it's clean collecting, there's some things that people could collect that I don't think we need to show on here. But if you've got some collections of stuff, whether it be books or action figures or vinyl, me and Candice would love to have you on here to show that stuff off. If you don't feel comfortable coming on camera, there's two ways you can go about it. You can be on camera and not show your face. I used to do videos like this all the time where you would just see my hands and I would be showing stuff and you'd hear my voice, but you wouldn't see my face. Another way is you can just talk about collecting in the chat. I know a lot of people did that last week, which is perfectly fine. But if you want to come in live on the stream, Mayor, I don't know if you're in here, but I know you had expressed an interest in coming on. I do have the link in the chat. And as long as I am familiar with you, I will go ahead and add you. Now, don't be offended if I don't know who you are and you want to try to come in because, we have to be very careful because people have children and stuff that could be walking through and see stuff. So we don't need anybody doing anything that they shouldn't on here. So I'm being wary of things. Plus, we as adults don't need to see some of this stuff either, to be honest. But I'm going to go ahead and add Candice on here real quick. Hey, Candice.
Hi, Dana, and hi, everybody.
We got about 8 people in here right now. It looks like don't have anybody chatting just yet, but hopefully, as me and Candace start going through stuff in our collections, then people will want to join in either with us on camera or they'll talk about it in the chat. If Candace doesn't mind, and I know I've been talking to her about some things I got in recently. Hey, Abby.
Hey, Abby.
If Candace doesn't mind, I was going to show off a few things that I had gotten in recently.
Yeah, go ahead, Dana.
Kick us off here. Now, one thing I know I told Candace about, because I want to use this on a future Friday Foolish when we talk about clowns and horror movies. And that is my Killer Clowns from Outer Space soup mug. I got to have an excuse to use this thing because that has fantastic artwork.
I love that.
For those of you that clowns make you cringe, that's probably not the type of thing you'd want to have in your kitchen. But I loved it. I loved it when I saw it on Amazon. You can go on Amazon. You can pick yours up today.
Oh, my son would love that.
Another thing I got, that's food related, is a Friday the 13th noodle bowl. And it does come complete with chopsticks as well.
I love that color on the inside of that, Dana.
Yeah, I love that kind of aqua like color. And the chopsticks, I thought at first this was a sticker, but no, it's made into the chopsticks. And it's that aqua color with blood drips on it.
You don't see a lot of that color with Friday the 13th stuff, so I like that. It's unique.
And I think that's part of what caught my eye. Not only was it Friday the 13th, but it had this color that, just like Candice said, you definitely don't see on Friday the 13th stuff often. Thank you, Abby. Abby says she loves the mug. And I'm going to set these down there on the floor because chances are I'm so clumsy I'll probably knock them off and break them, and then I would have to cry on camera because I haven't even gotten to use these things yet. So I may have to fix me some ramen noodles tonight just so I can use that Friday 13th bowl. But something I wanted to ask everybody about in here that's familiar with the old Nintendo Friday the 13th game. Um, does that not look? I mean, I know it looks kind of like Friday 13th Part 4, but doesn't that look like an image from the game?
It does. Yeah.
Because I think it made that noise. It would go like that, and it would show this little hockey mask with the knife going through it.
Hi, Blissful.
Hey, Blissful. So I'm gonna get my chopsticks back in there. And Candace, I'm actually gonna try to use the chopsticks.
Are you really?
Get
If you continue to use them, Dana, you will get used to them.
used to them. I was
I promise.
using them for a while. I was using them every time I had an Asian meal, whether it was noodles
Yeah.
or whatever. But then I got out of the habit of it again. I had actually taught myself how to use the chopsticks pretty well. But if you don't use it, you lose it. So
Yeah.
that's what happened to me. And I have, thankfully, y'all won't be seeing me unless I have low blood sugar and got to go get some. You won't see me stuffing stuff in my face, but I do have my McAllister's lemonade that I'll be sipping on and probably have to go to the restroom too while I'm doing that, or while we're doing the stream. So, since I showed off some stuff there at the beginning, Candace, is there anything you want to show off?
Um, I just got a whole ton of stuff sitting down here, so I'm just randomly picking. I think I will go with something that's not a vinyl, but
Okay.
has to do with music. So I collect cassette tapes too, and I know a lot of people do. Um, I've collected cassette tapes since I was young. So, um, let's see. Let me just grab some here. Here's an interesting one. It's a Terminator 2 Judgment Day,
Oh, cool.
Guns N' Roses single. It's got You Could Be Mine and Civil War. Civil War is one of my favorite Guns N' Roses songs. So there's that, and there's the back of it.
That's really cool. I remember things like that, and they were always really awesome looking.
One of my favorite things to do whenever I was younger was to go to Walmart or Kmart or somewhere like that and go to the singles because
Mm,
you get a little pocket money for picking up trash or something. Your parents give you some pocket money. They're really cheap, to get. Now this is just like a regular see-through cassette. Um, but that was one of my favorite things to do was go to the single section to get the little single. Then they started doing the single CDs once CDs became real popular.
yeah.
Uh, but that's a neat one. Let's see.
Wes, McAllister's Lemonade does not have alcohol in it. McAllister's is a restaurant here in Louisville, and this is just freshly squeezed lemonade. Like Orange Cassidy, it's freshly squeezed, just not orange juice.
Well, Dana, let's see. I have it on vinyl and I showed it, so I'll show my Kiss Dynasty cassettes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
this is one of those older cassettes. I think we got this at Grimey's for like $2, it says on the back, down in Nashville. But it's an older cassette. I think we also bought this one at the same time. We have all the Kiss singles, the single CDs that they did, had Gene, Paul, Ace, and Peter on record.
And all those look like they're in good shape too. They don't look scuffed up.
Yeah, they're really good. See, I used to have a car when me and Chris were together that had a cassette tape player in it. It had a CD player in it too, but we would listen to cassettes. I still listen to cassettes. But out of those Kiss albums, my favorite was always Aces. And this is one of my very first Kiss cassettes. Now, the very first Kiss album that I ever owned was on a cassette, and it was at Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits. I think I had Eric Carr and Bruce Kulick in replace of Peter and Ace. But this is Dressed to Kill. I have it on vinyl too, but I have wore this
I have
out.
a CD of that.
Yeah. I can't remember whose outfits they are wearing. I think it might be like the producer of the album or something like. It's one of their I forget who. But they had to borrow their outfits, the guys' outfits to make the cover of that. But I've showed off some of that. So if you want to show something, you can.
Well, I'll just start off with those things that I unboxed the other day from 1984 Publishing
Oh yeah.
because there's some of the newest things I got now. Um, when Chris showed off that sleepaway camp record the last time, you knew I was gonna have to get it right.
Yeah.
Um, and I think the only color vinyl that was left available for this. Well, if I can get it out of there. Um, and I didn't mind because I like this, is the pink
It's like a
vinyl.
pink bubble gum type color.
Yeah, it does. It looks like bubble gum.
Do you remember the little like I forget what they call them? They're little trinkets that you used to get like out of bubblegum machines, and sometimes you would get the little records. And in the 60s they had them too. They were like for charm bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that looks like. It looks
It
like one of those
does.
little
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but it certainly does. And this, um, I got the bundle. So not only did you get a record, but you got a book by Jeff Hayes on the making of Sleepaway Camp. And Jeff Hayes is the guy that does the Sleepaway Camp Films website. And he was the guy that pretty much got the revival going for Sleepaway Camp because nobody talked about Sleepaway Camp for a long, long time. And then all of a sudden, it just exploded. And the people that were in it, including Felissa Rose, I don't think they had any idea that there was this cult underground following for Sleepaway Camp. Now you see Felissa Rose at all kinds of
yeah,
conventions and stuff.
she's
Uh,
everywhere.
Kathy Kami, I met her. She played Meg in the film. Um, there was a Fangoria convention years and years ago when, Sleepaway Camp came back to the forefront as far as people talking about it and it being a cult film and stuff. A lot of the people that were in the movie, including Desiree Gould, God rest her soul, she's no longer with us, but who played Aunt Martha in the movie, they got her, they got Jonathan Tiersten, who played Ricky, they got Felissa Rose, um, they got a whole bunch of people from the movie, and I think they got the director Robert Hiltzik, who sadly really no longer makes movies anymore. I think he did that horrible Return to Sleepaway Camp, and I hate to say horrible, but in my opinion, it was. And Felissa Rose was involved in that. Jonathan Tiersten was. A lot of people from the original movie were involved in it. And I was just like, I want to like this. I really, really do because I respect Felissa Rose. She's a really sweet person to meet. And I would encourage you to meet her if you ever see her at a convention and you have not. And Kathy Kami, too, for playing such a reprehensible character in Sleepaway Camp. She's the sweetest lady. Um, but what did Wes say here? He says, I'm awaiting the deletion of Sleepaway Camp due to the ending. It's coming. Well, at least I've got my Blu-ray. If they
To be honest with you, Dana, I had never heard of Sleepaway Camp until I met Chris.
really.
I had never heard of it. If I had seen it in the video store or something, it you know, went under my radar. I had never heard of it.
Well, the story with me and the Sleepaway Camp films is that back when my family finally got a VCR, like I've always said, we were late adopters of a VCR. We didn't get a top load or anything. By the time we got one, they were the front loading VCRs. So during that space of time when we first got the VCR, we just went ape because it opened a door for us to be able to just go out, rent movies, and renting movies was cheap back then. I'm going to let my dog in. She's having a fit out there. Hold on a sec. Come on. Now Darcy went out. Good gracious, y'all. Uh, again, when you have 5 dogs in the house, it's just a revolving door of letting them in and out. So it got bright in here because I've got the door open back now. Um, but so anyway, my dad would stop off after he got off from work, and there used to be this place called Quick Pick where you could get chicken and you could get potato wedges, and they were the best thing ever. I don't know if Quick Pick was a local thing to our neck of the woods or if anybody else is familiar with a Quick Pick, but it was basically like a convenience store and you could get gas there and stuff like that. But in the big days of rental, VHS rental, in these convenience stores, they would have a back wall or whatever that had VHS on it. So my dad would stop at the Quick Pick on his way home from work and pick up some movies for usually on a Friday or something. He would do that so we could watch them over the weekend or whatever. So he was just browsing around and he saw the cover of the VHS for Sleepaway Camp 2. And he got part 2 and part 3. But he said the reason why he got part 2 was the cover art. He thought I would like this movie because in her backpack, she's got like a Freddy glove and a Jason hockey mask and all that stuff. Oh, gosh. I don't know if I should read what Wes put or not about boogers, but a- anyway, so Dad brought these two home, and we sat down as we did as a family. And some people might think, "Oh my gosh, you sat down as a family and watched horror movies? What's wrong with you people?" But that's what my family did, and my mom and dad didn't let me watch stuff like the things like I Spit on Your Grave, Last House on the Left. They didn't let me watch that stuff, but most anything else, they would let me watch. And I'm thankful that they made me wait until I was much older to watch things like I Spit on Your Grave. I don't think my mind emotionally could have comprehended that, and so I think that really was a good move on my parents' part. So I fell in love with those 2 movies, and then my Aunt Sandy, who, like I said, has been my movie watching buddy or was my movie watching buddy for a lot of years. We watched a lot of horror films together. She told me about the original Sleepaway Camp and about the special effects in it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I've got to get this movie." So the first time I saw it, I was like, "I gotta get it and watch it." I think I rented it too eventually. And so then I was complete. I was like, I've seen 2 and 3. I've seen Pamela Springsteen play Angela, and she did a good job, a little more comedic than the original film. But then I just fell in love with Felissa Rose. Felissa Rose, and I don't mean that like a gross way. I mean, I fell in love with her acting. I thought she, as a young up and coming actress, at least in horror films, she did very well for a movie that she didn't, during the first part of it, she doesn't even have any lines, you know. So that's my story about Sleepaway Camp. I didn't find out about the original. I knew there had to be original, but because you've got 2 and 3, but I didn't find out about it for a while. So I'm really wanting to read this book that Jeff Hayes put together about all like behind the scenes stuff. And this too was inside my book, and I just think
Hmm,
that pop art is really, really
that's
cool.
neat.
Yeah.
It's like a postcard.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much.
Huh.
And it says Vinci Pop Art, and Frankie Vinci or Vinci or however you pronounce his name is the guy that did the music, which is the other, that's the big part of the package. That's the soundtrack that's got, Angela's theme, You're Just What I've Been Looking
Mm.
For. It has the punk version of Just What I've Been Looking For. I'm eager to listen to that too. It was previously unreleased, and I see Chris is coming on here. I'm going to add him in just a sec. Side B has Tonight You're Mine and Take a Chance. And remember, if you get this, the playback is in 45 RPM, so don't set it on 33 or it's not going to sound good. So the one of the other ones I got, and this is one of my all-time favorite comedy movies ever because it has two characters, Chainsaw and Dave, who I love. Like they're the most fantastic characters ever in a movie. And that's Summer School. And I love Mark Harmon too, by the way. But I just absolutely love this movie. You don't have to give me a reason to watch the movie. I just gotta watch it sometimes. So I think this does have music by Danny Elfman, who I love Danny Elfman.
He's
So.
my favorite. Yeah.
But it also, I believe, has like little snippets of dialogue from the movie because we've got things like driving tests, Animal Farm, killer rabbits. And if you've seen the movie, you know Chainsaw and Dave come out with these fake rabbits on their face. They're killer buddies. So if you're a horror fan and you haven't seen Summer School, I urge you to watch this. And this does have a gatefold sleeve too. Got the people in the film. It's got. I think some of this is probably shots from the film, and some of it also might be publicity photos. And then you got the full color stuff on the back there. There's Chainsaw and Dave up there in the back seat. Um, and Dean Cameron, by the way, I got to talk about Dean Cameron again, who plays Chainsaw in the movie. And my records are sliding all over the place. I met him at a convention a few years back, and him and Gary Riley, who plays Dave in the movie, um, and they were just the sweetest guys ever. I love my picture with Dean Cameron. He looks like he's kind of leaning his head on my shoulder in the picture. It's just the coolest thing. Yeah, I always thought Dean Cameron was a nice guy, but sometimes you have these uh, things that happen that you didn't expect. You just expected to go up, meet them, shake their hand, get their
Yeah.
signature, get a picture with them, and go on. But when you get that extra something
Mm-hmm.
that you weren't expecting, it makes it all the more nicer.
Yeah. That's how it was whenever I met Del Midkiff.
Yeah, I would love to meet Dale Midkiff. I should have brought stuffed bunnies. Well, yeah, if I had thought about it, I definitely would have. So the last one I got from 1984 Publishing is Silent Night, Deadly Night. Oh, I wanted to show this. Candice gonna say, "Good Lord, Dan, I'm never gonna get to come on there."
You're fine, Dana.
Well, I forgot to show the color of the vinyl, which I think this is really cool too. It's like a clear vinyl
Oh, that's
with
neat.
blood spatters on it.
I like how it's clear like that. That's cool.
And again, some of these were sold out, like some of the different colors of the vinyl.
That would make a cool American Psycho record.
Yeah, it would. It would. It definitely would. So back to the Silent Night, Deadly Night one. This one, I was looking to make sure there wasn't any nudity, like no Linnea Quigley nudity. For those of you that are sensitive, though, this is the picture that Billy drew and got in trouble for drawing. As you can tell, yeah, that's pretty gruesome. I'm not sure. I understand why he didn't like Santa Claus. But I don't know why he cut the head off the poor reindeer. I never
It's
did
the reindeer's fault.
But this one is, I think, metallic red
Oh, that's cool.
vinyl. And also, I didn't know I was going to get this in the package too. But when I opened it up and took out the vinyl, I found this little envelope that said Silent Night, Deadly Night. And so I was like, what's this? Well, it's where they put the liner notes. So the liner notes, I don't know if y'all can see that real good. The liner notes are by Morgan Ames, who did a lot of the original music for the film. And I'll tell you, people may laugh at me, but there's a song in this movie that if you closed your eyes and just listened to the song On the Warm Side of the Door, you would not think that you were watching a horror movie because that is a very comforting, very warm song. Um, we've also got on the back here, we've got like,
I like that.
yeah, it's like ads
Isn't
for
it?
Ira's Toys, which is the toy store in there. So you get that. Um, you get this cool metallic red vinyl. You get the liner notes in its own little envelope. But the songs, you get a naughty side and a punished side on
Yeah.
this. So the naughty side, side A, you get It Must Be Christmas, Sleigh Rider, Santa's Watching, Merry Christmas Baby, which, if you'll remember, if you've seen this movie, that's the song that's playing as Linnea Quigley is getting a little attention from her boyfriend, if you know what I mean. And I think you do, as Joe Bob would say. The Warm Side of the Door, of course. Christmas Party. Side B has Christmas Flu, Christmas Fever. I Want to Sing You a Love Song, Sweet Little Baby, Merry Christmas, Sweetheart, and Christmas Dreams. And those last two were previously unreleased. So you get to listen to some
Yep.
previously unreleased tracks. So I'm going to go ahead and add Chris here because he might, if he's on his lunch, he may want to show a few things before he has to go back. Hey, Chris.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. You got anything you want to show off, Chris?
I didn't really get a whole. I have some things sitting here. I mean, I could show off, um, but it's just kind of the stuff I just had sitting around, because I was taking some pictures earlier and stuff. Because today is Alien Day, so I have a few a few alien figures here that I can show off.
Oh, yeah, cool. I'd love for you to.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So these are all the NECA 40th anniversary alien figures from the first film. So right here is Parker. You may also know him from Freddy's Dead, the actor that played him. He did pass away, I believe, a couple years ago. But I love this packaging that these figures came in. And it's even got like in the corner there the NECA logo, but it's in like the Kenner, the old toy company Kenner style. And and even on like the back of the packaging, it's got like the other figures on the bottom, and it's got like a description there. So yeah, that's the Parker one I have of that.
That's cool.
The next one is Brett. As you know, and that's the actor Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, I
And
love saying.
I found out a really cool fact about him recently. He has passed away as well. He is a Kentucky native,
Mhm.
and
He was in
and
Fire
his
Double O.
yeah, yep, and so he's actually his grave is in Lexington, I believe, either Lexington or Louisville.
Yeah.
And I'd like to visit his grave someday because I was a big fan of him.
Louisville, I'm going to find out where. I know this sounds gruesome, but I would like to go see it. I don't want to stay there too long, but
yeah, I
Is Jim
enjoyed
Varney
it.
buried in Kentucky?
Yeah, in Lexington as well.
Okay.
Yep. And yeah, I've always wanted to visit his grave as well. Just like and like I said, that does kind of sound morbid to some people, but
No.
I just do it as like paying respects to someone that I grew up loving, and their work. But this next one is one of the aliens. I have two different aliens. I'll show them next. This is just the regular one. It's like the slick black alien. or xenomorph, I guess you could call it. And like I said, that's the regular one in the line. They do make a few different ones of these. I only have two of them, but here's the other one. It looks very similar. But if this it says here the Geiger model. So this was like the concept by H.R. Geiger, Alien, like the color and I don't know if you can tell really good on the camera there, but there is a distinct difference in the color in those two figures.
It's more grayish, isn't it?
Yeah, or metallic looking.
It's more of like a grayish, and like a rusty looking color, I guess. Then this next one is Lambert. Now I forget the actress's name, but she was just
Victoria Cartwright.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Mhm.
So she was just at the Horror Hound in Indianapolis last year. I didn't get to meet her, unfortunately. I wanted to, but it's just one of those things where I kind of ran out of funds. And but I did get to meet Tom Skerritt at that one, who played
That's
Dallas.
awesome.
Um, so the next one I have here is Kane, and he's also in his suit there as well, just like the Lambert figure was. Um, and if anybody has seen Alien, they know there's a specific scene with Kane that's very popular in all of film, pretty much, and that's when the xenomorph bursts out of his chest,
Chest burster.
and that's when the shit hits the fan in the film.
He also gets the face hugger on his face too.
Right. And the next one I have is Ash, which that is Ian Holmes' character in the film. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you also may know him as Bilbo Baggins from the Lord of the Rings films. I believe he's also in The Fifth Element with Bruce Willis, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember. I like that movie though.
Yes,
that is
not The Fifth Element.
And the last one I have out of all of those of that series is this Ripley from the end of the film.
Right.
And Ripley is probably my favorite female character in a movie of all time. I mean, she's like a complete badass in those movies. And I love just Sigourney Weaver and everything she does. And there are two. If anybody out there is watching this and they can help me out, there's two figures from that series that I just showed that I'm looking for. And it is the Ripley in her jumpsuit and the Dallas in that same suit that Kane and Lambert was in. Now, those are two really hard to find figures, and I've looked them up on eBay and everything, and they're super expensive. So if anybody can find them for me for a good deal, let me know.
Okay, if I run across them, be sure to tell you, Chris. Now, I love it because Chris has inadvertently given me so many ideas for future shows that me and Candice could do. While he was talking about Ripley being such a badass, I was thinking, Candice, we could do a show on badass women in horror films. I think
that would be a good
would
one.
be, we could talk about Ripley. We could talk about Alice from
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5.
What
There's
about
a
Tina?
bunch of
Tina from Friday the 13th Part 7.
yeah, exactly.
We
There's
could
so
just
many we could do. So I'm
Yeah.
writing that one down. I've already getting a cachet of different themes for shows that we could do.
We already have a big
You
lineup.
You guys were talking about the sleepaway camp films earlier that you said your dad rented when you were younger and all that.
Mhm.
I mean, even though she's a villain, Angela's still a big badass in those
Yeah.
films.
Yes, she is. She most certainly. Well, we don't have to say they're good characters. We can say
No.
they could
Yeah,
be
exactly.
badass bad characters. Yeah, definitely. Hey Ben, he says they need a Ripley from the beginning of the movie. Are you talking about like the Ripley that doesn't have much on when she comes
Drop
out
off.
of that little pot? uh,
They have, and I have seen people out there online that have made customs of that figure, but an officially licensed figure, I don't think that they've, at least by NECA, they've not released. I don't believe.
right. Wes, in answer to your question, I am a fan of especially the first two Alien films. As it went on, I wasn't as much of a fan, but those first two movies, I absolutely love them. And Blissel says I should make. Are you talking about going to see Harry Dean Stanton's grave? She said I should make that a video field trip. Well, as long I will promise you guys this: if his grave is in Louisville, and I find out where it is, if there's not a lot of people around that are, because I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't, his family could come there and they could be standing around. They don't want somebody, oh, this is Harry Dean Stanton's grave. So if I'll make y'all this promise. If I get to go and there's nobody else there but me and Steve, then I promise you guys I will do a little video real quick and then we'll get out of there because I don't know. I feel weird about staying around too long at somebody's grave.
Oh, I always loved going and visiting graves and stuff like that. Like when we went and visited Lucy up in Jamestown, New York, that was one of the most amazing moments. I mean, it's a graveyard. Some people that's weird, but no, to me, it's not.
No, in that case, though, they probably expect a lot of people to
Maybe,
see Lucille
yeah.
Ball's grave. I don't know about Harry Dean Stanton.
Yeah, he's a celebrity, so
Yeah,
I'm sure that there's a lot of people that visit it. That's a fan. He was not a very he wasn't like a unknown actor either. He was well known. He's like in
he
Pretty in
was well
Pink,
known.
right?
That's understandable what Dana's saying too, but you got to look at it like this. Look at the Evans City Cemetery in Pennsylvania where they film Night of the Living Dead. Look at how many people frequently go to that cemetery and take pictures with those graves that were featured in the film.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Candice did it on that same trip, that we went to Jamestown and seen Lucy's grave. It was like the day before that we went to the Evans City Cemetery, and there was several people there, just taking pictures and video and stuff. So,
but I will say this: I did feel a little odd there because it wasn't Lucy or some celebrity.
Yeah.
Some people do, and people were doing it. We're taking pictures and stuff.
And probably in that area, they're probably used to people doing it. They probably say, damn it, why did George Romero have to film in the cemetery?
It's beautiful there, though.
Let's see. Blissel says the amount of people per day that visit Jill Morrison's grave is amazing. Yeah.
That's in Paris.
Yeah. And it's beautiful where his grave or memorial or whatever you want to call it. Wes says, I was watching the 4K of Aliens recently. I thought that shit looked amazing. I know it's been a controversial topic lately, but that thing looks insane. It does. I mean, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I've not seen the 4K of that yet, but I would love to.
And Wes says, my wife and I visited Jim Varney's grave a few years ago. Lots of items were brought by fans, pics, etc. It's a tribute.
Well, I would love to go there. I just love Jim Varney. He's one of my favorite people. So I would love to go. I mean, we go to Lexington all the time. I would love to stop there.
Yeah. So I'll start wanting to go see all these graves, and Steve's going to be like, what in the world's wrong with you?
A lot of people do that. I've done that. I have a cousin that that's what we would do. We'd go to the lakes. She was a photographer, and we'd go to like the graves in Lexington. She would take beautiful photos, just eerie photos of all these beautiful monuments and stuff. And it's really a peaceful thing. There's a celebrity, and I cannot remember who it is. I don't think it's Dolly Parton. It was somebody that said, if I ever find out who it is, next time we come on here or something, I'll tell the story or whatever. But they love going to graves. That's something that they said that they would do every time they would go to a new city or something, was to find a grave and go walk around. And a graveyard and walk around and just take in the beautiful monuments and all that stuff. So, your weird is only what you make it.
Right.
This is something that's really weird,
Well,
and
Right.
that does remind me too. You guys talking about that? Candice, she showed me this YouTube channel that she watches sometimes, where this guy, that's all his YouTube channel
Yeah.
pretty much focuses on, is going around to these different grave sites of these celebrities and
Are you
stuff. And
talking about that Grim Life Collective guy?
no, but he
no,
does.
they do that, but there's they do a lot of different stuff. But the person I'm talking about, do you know who what they're called, Candice?
Hollywood Monument, and it's something, I forget what their name is. I'd have to look and see
Okay.
what they're called, but I forget. I think it's somewhere in California. I
Yeah,
actually watch a few different people who do that, and they like tell stories of stuff of, because I don't know. I always found that stuff interesting.
yeah, it is.
Do people still, Candace, do you know people still do like grave rubbings where they,
Yeah. And there's a new trend now where people are actually going to graveyards and like cleaning up the old tombstones and stuff. And that, if you watch that, what's it called, Chris? That movie, you didn't care for it, but I liked it.
Lisa Frankenstein.
Lisa Frankenstein. She does like the tombstone rub.
When you were talking about that, that's immediately what popped in my head. Is like she was doing that in that Lisa Frankenstein movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think the girl was doing that. I know people think Sleepwalkers is an awful movie, but I still find it entertaining. But I think that's what the main girl is doing. She's making some gravestone rubbings. Hey, Victor. Victor says, my wife and I love walking around in graveyards and looking at the tombstones. We are always, well, hold on here. A lot of people talking in here. We're always very respectful. It's peaceful. We're all going to end up there eventually. Yeah, unless you get cremated or something, you're gonna end up there. And Wes makes a good point. He says most family members for people buried at the Evans City Cemetery are deceased at this point.
Yeah, probably.
And Wes says many years ago, my dad visited Seattle and got did etching of Bruce Lee and Jimi Hendrix graves. Now, Steve probably would love he would love to see Bruce Lee's grave, I know. Said a ton of people were doing it almost like a destination.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure the Grim Life Collective went to Sleepy Hollow. That guy's went everywhere. Everywhere. And I think he's friends with Sean Clark, too, because him and Sean Clark and one or two other guys got together and went to a pizza place, and they just sat and talked and stuff like that. And the guy that's up in Canada, I'm trying to remember what that guy's name is, or his channel name is, and I can't think of it now. But that guy's up in Canada, so Sean Clark went up to Canada with that guy and did some stuff for prom night, and I think stuff for Cronenberg's The Fly and stuff like that were actually filmed in Canada.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they are friends, and I think a lot of the ideas that Grim Life Collective has put on their channel was stuff that they got inspiration from Sean's Horror's Hallowed Grounds series that he would do.
And that's a nice way of putting it, Chris. Wes says Grim Life got to start by ripping off Sean Clark.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it went down, though, because I know those guys are friends. So yeah, I mean, and it's okay to I think it's okay to take inspiration or borrow ideas as long as they're your friends. As long as
inspiration from people, just like I took inspiration from what Chris was saying about Sigourney Weaver being a badass in the Alien movies. Chris didn't say, "You're ripping me off, Dana."
You might.
Yeah, I was going to use that for my channel, Dana. What the heck, man?
Chris, you got yanking your chain, Wes. Yanking your chain.
Chris, do you have anything else that you want to show?
I don't really have time. I got to go back in like 2 minutes. So I guess I guess I'm gonna go ahead and hop off here. But thank you all for letting me come on for just a little bit,
Yeah.
showing some stuff.
Welcome.
And y'all have fun for the rest of the stream and enjoy the rest of your day.
We
Too.
will.
I'm sure I'll see you around sometime.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. I blabbed a little too much. I was trying to keep up with this chat, but as I think that's a good thing though that the chat's burning up in there
Yeah,
because
yeah.
everybody's doing some talking. Let's see. Oh, I'm jealous, Victor, because he says last year we went to the Bangor, Maine cemetery that Pet Cemetery was based on. They give tours and stuff. Yeah, does that guy from Bet's bookstore does he still do those tours, Victor, or is somebody else doing those? But he said we didn't do a tour, but we walked all over that place. It was
Yeah.
huge. Hey, JJ. Blizzle says I'm planning a trip to Terrytown. It's a few hours away from us. Oh, that would be interesting too. Terrytown, yeah. Um, so, uh, Candice knows where you live, Chris. That's what Blizzle said. Oh, Wes. You say he probably pays Sean Clark 10% commission. If not, he should. LOL. And I just remembered that guy, Scott on tape. That's the guy from Canada. So there's Sean Clark, there's Grim Life Collective, there's Scott on tape. It seemed like there was one other guy, and I'm forgetting who it is now. But Sean Clark was pretty much, I got to give credit where credit is due. Sean Clark was pretty much the one that started all that.
Innovative, yeah.
Yeah, and I love Sean Clark. I think he's a really cool guy. And I think he
always
does.
treated me and Chris really well.
And I remember, and I'm sure Wes remembers this, one time when what were we doing? What was the commentary, the live commentary at that convention for? Because Felsher was there. Daggone it. I can't remember if it was Friday 5 or what, but I think it was that time when there was a room called the Nun Room, and of course they were making fun of Steve because he likes those nunsploitation movies, and I think it was Felsher that said, "Yeah, Steve just came up to me and said, 'Nun,' like that, like go to the nun room." This thing's going on, but anyway, I think that was the time that Sean Clark came in, and I remember him sitting in the back, and he was talking to Felsher, and he was talking to the Dead Pit guys and stuff like that. I want to see if Wes remembers this, and Sean was telling all kinds of amazing stories, and he was treating everybody really nice.
Yeah.
If anybody talked to him, he was very nice. He never treats anybody rude.
No, every time he sees us, he always comes over and talks to us. He's ate lunch with us, and just he never acts like he don't know anybody. So
yeah, and that's a good thing. There's people that ain't as big as Sean Clark is, and they act like they don't know you. So,
I didn't know that he was even big or anything like that because I didn't know nobody because he's just like a friend. I was like, okay. Then I find out that he's like a big, what he does, and I was like, well, never acts like it, not to us at least.
He don't act like you're wasting his time either.
No, he comes up to us like we was. I think it was like Scarefest, the last Scarefest. Come over and picking on Chris's shoulders. Hey, he always does it. He's just a nice guy.
Wes says, I kind of remember it, but I think I was drunk. I don't recall you being like, you may have been drinking, but I didn't recall you being like flat out nasty drunk or anything. But anyway, Candice, you want to show anything else before I show a couple of things?
Yeah, I have some stuff down here. Now, mine's stuff is different. And the next thing I think I'm going to show when I first show it, people's gonna be like, "Why is she showing that?" But it's something I collect. I have a huge collection of it. I've collected it since I was a little girl. But there's a connection of why I love it so much. That's not the reason why I started collecting them, though. The reason why I started collecting them was because I got into my great grandmother, who I didn't know, she had passed away before I was born, her trunk as a little girl, and I found a Mickey Rooney one.
Oh, wow.
And that was my very first one that I had collected. And it is photos that come with the frame of celebrities. And this is my
That's
favorite.
so awesome.
Back in the 50s, photos used to come of celebrities used to come with the frame. And if you know what I'm talking about, why it became special to me later on that it came with the frame. You know what I'm talking about, Dana?
Yep. And if you've seen the Burbs, you'll know what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. So we have Elizabeth Taylor here on the end, Rock
Mm-hmm.
Hudson, who's one of my favorite actors of all time, and this one is Susan Hayward on the end.
Right.
But I paid a pretty penny for this one off eBay because I
I
love Rock
bet.
Hudson and Elizabeth Taylor. But I have a ton. I have Jimmy Stewart. It comes with a really cool frame. It's like a clear, like frame. It's really weird looking. Gosh, I don't even know who all I have. I probably have 20 or more of these old celebrity. It came with the frame. I call them. It came with the frame photos. But
I like that, though.
yeah, I collect old vintage frames from the 50s, and I put my actual photos in them. But if they come with the celebrity photos, I keep them in it. But the studio would do that, and that was a way of promoting their celebrities. Was by putting them in these frames that people would buy, and it was just a way of showing people, hey, this is an actor, you know, it's for the studio, and there you go. I always thought that was neat, and I thought somebody else would think it was neat. Maybe not.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing at Wes again. He said, "Did Mickey Rooney still look 80 years old in the 1950s?"
Yeah, he always looked old. No, he was. I don't know. I like Mickey Rooney though. Oh, here's a vinyl that I love. I got this one a long time ago. And if you're a fan of Lucy like I
Oh,
am,
yeah.
it's Desi Arnaz,
That is awesome.
and it come in like a little box. So it's from, and look at this, Dana. Still comes with the little thing attached.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think it's ever been played. That one's
It
not.
doesn't look like it. It looks really, really
Yeah.
good.
But I don't know how long I've had that. I've had that for a really long time, but that's from, you know, the time whenever Lucy was on. So I love that one. Let's see what else.
Chris, Mickey Rooney is in one of the Silent Night, Deadly Night films, one of the
Is
sequels.
it really?
Yeah.
Okay, something else I collect, and I have a huge collection of this, and a lot of stuff I collect, I've collected it since I was young. I don't know. I'm a repetitive person. But this one is not actually mine. I was kind of hoping he forgot about it, but now if he's watching this, he will say, hey, that's mine. But this is my brother's. But the rest of mine I have in storage. I have Cinderella, Kiss, Poison, any probably 80s band that you can think of. But I collect carnival mirrors. And they are.
Oh my gosh, I remember those, Candice.
This
Oh,
one's Mario Speedwagon, and this one is
yes.
awesome. It's dirty. Probably can see that's got dirt all over it. But this is my brother's. And I thought that one was awesome. I have some, if I could find them, I would love to show them because I have a ton. I mean, I have a Guns N' Roses one that I was like, this is awesome because it's like, I forget what it is. I'd have to get it. It's a really odd one. But anybody that you can name, I probably have them. And have these little carnival mirrors because you remember we used to win stuff like that when we was
We
kids.
used to win. I used to win them by popping balloons with
Yeah,
darts.
yeah. So I have a ton of those especially from the 80s, and I think I even have a Queen one. No, that one might be from the 70s. I don't know when they started making carnival mirrors, but I have all those. And this, Dana, you said that you wanted me to find it and let you see it. And I told you I had one from the childhood, but it was like the glasses was broke off and stuff like that. Well, I ought to known with all the stuff we have if we go digging in storage, then I'm going to find something I didn't know I had. So look what Chris found in storage. He found one in the
Oh
box.
my gosh, Steve Urkel.
That's what I had found that you said that you wanted to see.
Yes.
That I said I wasn't going to tell you what it was, but this one's in the box. I had no idea that we had bought this. I'd forgotten about it, but the box is all bent up and stuff like that. But he's like the Beetlejuice. He sounds like a chipmunk. Let me see if you can hear it.
Yeah.
But this one is all intact. So I guess my childhood one, I'll just keep it wherever it's at and display this one. But I thought that you would find that interesting. It's untelling what I have.
Victor said I had to spend about $100 to win one of those damn mirrors back in the day at the fair. I don't think I spent that much. If I couldn't win one, I'd get my dad to win me one.
That was one of the fun, but now you can afford to pop those balloon games because and the stuff that they give you isn't nearly as good as what it used to be. You know,
I mean, our parents probably thought that was cheap back then, but that was gold compared to what you get now.
Listen, we're going to have to do another one of these like collection videos sometime down the line in the future when we run out of stuff, because once I really get into storage, Dana, I got stuff that I didn't even realize I had anymore. And it's a lot to do with, like, if you like music. I know that this isn't really a music show or anything like that, but I have a lot of music related stuff. I have movie related stuff that I would really like to show on here.
Oh, I'm sure I could pull stuff out for enough shows to last a year or more. I mean, I'm just looking around here and seeing what I've got on these shelves just by my computer.
We have so much. It's untelling what I could bring out here and show. But you can go ahead and show whatever you want to.
Oh, hey, John. John's in here. How many vinyls do y'all have? I would have to count and get back to y'all.
I have thousands. Probably.
And Blizzle says, I definitely have a few friends interested in coming on. Well, yeah, point them our way, and we'll get as many of them on here as we can. Like I said, I can have up to 10 people on here. I think that's not counting me, so it would be Candice and 8 other people, I guess, we could get on here.
I have almost 5,000 VHSs in storage.
Wow.
So I could show you probably some weird VHSs too if we ever want to do a VHS show.
Oh, yeah, that would be awesome. John says, I sold a lot of my music band stuff and just have soundtracks, maybe only 100 or less. Yeah, I can't bear to part with some of mine, John, right now. So let me show 3 more real quick. This is one that I think either Steve got it for me just because, or he got it for my birthday. But this is a Mondo record. This is Lucio Fulci's horror and thriller. So it's got a bunch of different music. It's got this really cool gatefold sleeve there. I really like
that.
And the cat head on the back, and the vinyl. And what's cool about this is it's not just music. On the second disc, I think it's the second one. Yeah, you have Lucio Fulci's voice, him talking. Mm-hmm. It's in Italian, of course.
Oh my goodness.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's in Italian. Because I don't think Fulci, either he didn't speak much English or he didn't speak English at all. But you actually get to hear his voice on the record, which is just amazing. But you have music from Demonia. You have music from Door to Silence, which a lot of people say is an awful Fulci film. But you, not only that, but you have some other music too, which, let me pull this out of here. So one of the vinyls is red and one of them is yellow color.
I love yellow.
I like this color, yellow.
That's one of my favorite colors. A lot of people don't like yellow, but I've always loved it.
So we've got Lizard in a Woman's Skin. We got some selections from that. From Manhattan Baby, New York Ripper, which has got the Donald Duck. You call it the Donald Duck Killer because the killer calls people on the phone and he's using a duck voice. Steve likes to do. He used to do something. I think he did a commercial for Dead Pit one time that said if you didn't listen to him, I'll come and kill you. And then he goes, "Quack, quack," you know.
I
But
can never do that
I
voice.
wonder if he still had that little bit of audio that Steve did for y'all that time. Either he was advertising for Dead Pit or he was advertising for the older version of his Eurocult show. I don't think I showed this one last time. If I did, I'm sorry. But this is My Bloody Valentine. And again, you have a gatefold sleeve that has
Ooh, I like that.
paper article. Harry Warden is back. And it has Madame Mabel's laundry, which there was Madame Mabel's laundry was in the movie, but there's an ad for it. She's dying to meet you. She's dying to meet you. It's got an ad for the Valentine's dance. The Cage, which is the bar they all went to and drank Moosehead beer.
Didn't Jensen Ackles do a remake of that from Supernatural?
Yeah,
I think I
there
tried
was
to
a
watch it,
remake
I
of
couldn't.
it. And yeah,
Much as I like Jensen Ackles, I don't think I could watch it. It was it was like 3D or something. I was like,
yeah, it was 3D.
Sorry to anybody that likes that, but I just couldn't get through it. Have
I
you
think
seen it?
some people thought it was fun and everything, but I don't know. I just rather go back to the original.
I wasn't feeling it, but maybe that's just me.
But we've got some red vinyl, and then you turn it over, and it's got the a heart, and that looks to be what's supposed to be a real heart in the heart shaped candy box, and the inside sleeve
Yeah.
is a heart box with blood coming out of it. There's the pickaxe in the miner's hand there.
You dressed up as him one year, right?
Yep.
I
That
thought
was
so.
Harry Warden or just the miner, if you
Yeah.
want to call it just the miner. But I'll show you this other record here. Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know why records are like this. When they come packaged to you, they're in there nice and neat and tidy, and you go to take them out, try to get them back in. It's like an act of Congress. Paul Jaja did the music for this, so you have the notes, like the liner notes on there. And you also have liner notes from the director, George Mahalka, on the other side of this sleeve. And this is red vinyl too, but if you flip it over on the back, it has that really cool aqua color that me and Candice were earlier. So I love this, and you better believe around Valentine's Day I get this one out and display it. And in fact, I can show another collectible since it's right here that is My Bloody Valentine related. And that's the Harry Warden figure. And I love my Harry Warden figure, but I haven't taken him out of the box. He's still in the box. Sorry for the glare there. But he's got a heart-shaped candy box, and he's got a knife and a pickaxe. But Candice is indeed correct. I was Harry Warden or the miner a few years back for well, I'll show a couple other things. I got more My Bloody Valentine stuff than I realized. I don't collect too many enamel pins, but every once in a while I'll find one that looks really cool.
Oh yeah, we love enamel pins.
Steve got me this one. It says, "Welcome to Valentine Bluffs, the little town with a big heart." And you know, that's the sign going into Valentine Bluffs on the movie. And then I just bought this one for the heck of it. It's the
Oh, that's
miner
cool.
there. Yeah. That one's kind of 3D, and it says Dimensions of Fear, and I'm thinking that might be 3D if you had the red and blue glasses. I haven't tried that out. Oh, something else I wanted to show y'all. Kate's gonna be like, "Good Lord, Dane, you got a whole
Go ahead, Dana.
bloody Valentine." But Steve got me this. He got the My Bloody Valentine movie bundle on 4K for me. And so you got not only got the movie, but you got this. That's a heart-shaped candy box. There's the minor on the back. This is a combination Gutter Garbs and String Factory bundle, I guess you could say. But on the inside of this, you get some enamel pins. So you've got the minor, you've got a heart-shaped candy box, I've got another one of those Valentine Bluffs pins, and a pickaxe.
Cool.
One that says My Bloody Valentine. Oops.
Chris wanted me to show you this. He ran in here real quick.
Oh, he's got a Tiny Tears one.
Yeah, a Toonie Tear.
Yeah.
And it's like a Scooby-Doo style.
Yeah. I like that, though.
If you can see it, the glare.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with the glare, too.
And there's you can cut these out if you want to and stand them in front of them. So it's like the mine. I think these are so cute.
Come to think of it, this is probably the minor from the 3D version.
Could
the
be.
version. And I'm going to put some 3D glasses on at some point and see if that is in 3D, because it's kind of blurry like that stuff is.
No, it could be then.
So, I gotta get this stuff propped back up here. Okay. Let me take this back over here, or I'll end up stepping on it or something like that. But I was thinking of all this My Bloody Valentine stuff that I had around here. As you can see, My Bloody Valentine is one of my favorite slasher films. You know, that's the thing about Canada. In that time in like the 80s, like early to mid 80s, they knew what in the heck they were doing. As far as making movies, they were making better movies than we were in the States, I think. And the last one I want to show before I turn it back over to Candice, again, I can't remember if I showed the Phantasm one.
I can't remember if you did or not.
But I think Steve got me this one for my birthday.
Yeah, I think I did show that one. I'm not sure. I could be, but show it again. Who didn't see it?
So we've got, this is really cool vinyl. This is like black and a reddish.
Yeah, I like that.
And it's a little more violet looking on the other side.
The back looks a lot different than the front. That's really cool.
It looks like a purplish or a violet.
Well, you remember that one that I had? It was like, it looked black, but whenever I held it up to the light, it was green. I think it was that Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Sure this one it was.
But this one, you know, there you got the tall man on the back. I absolutely love the music from Phantasm. The music is so haunting on that. And, you know, Angus Scrimm, God rest his soul, he's no longer with us either, but I did get to meet the man.
You got to meet him, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
and not long before he passed away, I got to meet him. And
I think that was one of Chris's big regrets, was not getting to meet him.
Well, I have a lot of regrets, like not meeting Gunnar Hansen when I could have, and people like that. And now they're, you know, unfortunately gone. I see the mayor in here. Mayor, are you still going to come on with us? I can put that link back in the chat. Let's see what everybody's saying here. There's quite a few.
I think everybody likes that My Bloody Valentine remake, except me.
I mean, I didn't hate it, but if I had a choice in the matter, I would definitely go back and watch the original My Bloody Valentine, then if somebody said you're going to a deserted island and you could
Yeah.
only have one version of My Bloody Valentine, here you go, Uncle Bill. If you're still in here, I forgot to say hello to you earlier. If you're still in here, if we're talking about My Bloody Valentine, I can honestly say that I would take the original My Bloody Valentine to that deserted island, provided I had something to watch it on.
Yeah.
I don't want to be stuck there with this movie and not be able to watch it.
Dang, I should have brought a book.
John says I converted my band vinyls to Blu-rays pretty much. That's interesting. Let's see. Wes says my wife buys more vinyl than me nowadays, but we probably have 2,000 to 3,000 at least. Inherited my dad's stuff too. He had a lot. Where in the heck do y'all put that? Do y'all put some of it in storage?
That's what we do. We got the biggest storage unit in the whole place.
Blizzle says I have clothes I stole from Redacted and Redacted. Uncle Bill says, sell me those VHS tapes now. Don't delay, he says.
Oh, if he wants to talk about me, we got all kinds. I'll sell, give away.
No, but make Uncle Bill buy them, Candice.
I just need the space. I mean, we got too many. Do you know how we got those, Nina?
How?
My dad, these old vans, the big full-size vans, like family vans from like the early 90s, late 80s. Okay, my dad had one of those. He went to somebody's house that he knew. It was a family member of mine. I won't say who. But he went to their house who had a trailer. All this person did was spend their money on VHS tapes.
Oh my gosh.
But they go to like the secondhand stores and stuff. Their whole house. Chris went with him. If he's still on here, he can back me up on this. When they told me and my mom to meet them, it was late at night at our storage unit because they had a VHS collection to put in storage. They wasn't exaggerating when they said that the whole van was full. Chris was sitting here with VHS tapes all around him to the ceiling.
That would have been a great picture.
And whenever we pull up there and we open up the door, Chris is like blocked in.
Oh
the whole entire van to the ceiling. And I'm talking about horror VHSs. Some of them rare. Some VHSs that you wouldn't even thought of that even existed. Mm-hmm. And it took them 4 hours or longer. Oh. And I said, my gosh, 4 hours. They would say, well, y'all have seen us trying to get in the van, trying to put them in the van, how long it took them.
I would have loved somebody to have taken a picture of Chris blocking.
Yeah.
I could have used that for a thumbnail picture. If Chris could have went, like that and be surrounded by those VHS tapes.
That was a crazy night. And I just stood there in awe. I was like, what in the hell? Because, it was everywhere. And they're still in storage. Mm. And we have the biggest storage unit in the whole place. It's like 5 or 6 storage units combined. And it takes up half the space in there. So I would really like to get rid of some of these VHSs.
Well, Chris says that's no exaggeration either. We have at least 5,000 tapes in storage. Please, someone come and get most of them from me.
And that's not counting our personal collection that we have and stuff, but it's crazy. But that was if I had to do it over with, because it's been a long time ago, probably maybe 7-8 years ago. I wish I recorded that because I don't think people believe.
That's wild. Mayor says I sold a lot of vinyl when CDs came out. Now I'm replacing lots of my favorites on vinyl. He says all my Fulci soundtracks I've got are CDs that came with the Blu-rays and the 4Ks. Yeah, Chris says, hey, My Bloody Valentine remake is good. Oh, man. Is that the one that has a woman pretty much full frontal running? Or
I
am
couldn't
I?
tell you because I didn't finish it. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. Maybe I should give it a new try. I mean, this was probably before me and Chris started dating. I went and bought it and had those 3D glasses in it, and I don't know. Maybe I feel differently if I watched it and gave it a fair shot and watched it all the way through. I will say that I've not watched it all the way through.
Now, Wes, Candice is my witness here. I did not say I hated My Bloody Valentine 3D. I just said if you were holding a gun to my head and said you got to pick one,
Mm.
I would pick the original one just because that's the one I like better or prefer. I guess is the
So
way.
you didn't say you didn't like it. It was
No,
me
I
that
didn't
was
say
saying that
I
I didn't like
hated it or didn't like it. Thank you, John. John said that Fulci record is badass. I'll have to tell Steve that because he's the one that got that one for me. Wes says heart-shaped candy box from Walmart, $1. It's $80 from Scream Factory. I know you dislike Scream Factory with a vengeance, but I'm sorry if I was to, and I'm not saying this to make fun of Wes or say anything bad about it, but if I was to cut out buying anything from everybody that I didn't like all their practices, I wouldn't be buying nothing. So I got, if I want to get something, regardless of whatever I think about a company's practices, I don't like the practices and costs for a lot of companies out
Yeah.
there. A lot of these companies, I just like I've talked about before, I'm going to start making my own T-shirts. I said that earlier during Terror Time Tea with my heat press because they're getting too dang expensive to purchase. But as of now, when I see something I like, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, I don't like their policies, I don't like their prices, so I'm just going to sit on my hands and not buy this. I can't do it.
I'm gonna say I don't like the prices because I can't afford it.
Some of it I can't afford. I just flat out can't.
I
Um,
can't afford nothing right now.
Mayor says I've got one of the Toonie Terror figures, although it could be considered two since it's the Shining twins. Yeah. Um, Chris says wasn't Ginger Snaps filmed in Canada? It may have been, Chris. I'm not entirely sure. You said that's your favorite werewolf film. It is good. I was a late watcher of Ginger Snaps, but I did enjoy it. Uncle Bill said, LOL, finally she makes a decision. Yeah, just not about the Shining. Mayor says, I believe Waxworks is going to do a new reissue of Phantasm. That'd be cool. I'll probably have to get that one too. Mayor, you say I haven't gotten my records together to show off, but if you're going to be on here for a while, I can get them together. Well, we'll be on here a little while longer, Mayor, probably till around 3 or so. And it's 2:19 Eastern time right now. Chris says, but when it comes to The Shining, it's a different story. LOL, just kidding. Uncle Bill says, buddy, I'll take a bunch off your hands in the horror and exploitation and sci-fi realm. I would take some off y'all's hands, but Steve would kill me. I'm afraid. Not because I'm buying something, but because he'd say, we have no room in our house. Wes says, Crater, we'll meet up with you and go through them if you want. I'll bribe you with La Piñas. Is that a Mexican place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Uncle Bill says, ain't nobody ask you, Wes. And then he says, buddy, fuck you, QB. I got dibs. And Crater and I are balls or something like that. Okay. Oh, boy. Y'all just have to fight that on out.
Well, as soon as we go in there here in a week or two and make it to where we can walk in there, then Chris can be contacting you guys to come and get some. I mean, we just want them gone.
Chris, did Steve really express to you at Harhound how much he despised VHS now? Uncle Bill says you got dibs on my ass. Okay, y'all are derailing my chat here, or our Candace's chat is. Candace, you want to show off some more stuff?
Let's see what I got. Oh, here's a great one, Dana, and I'm gonna send this one right to you because I figured you would appreciate this. Oh, Saturday Night Fiddler.
That is hilarious.
I don't know what in the hell this is. I have no idea. But this guy is apparently named Arthur Fiddler, and he's made him a disco album.
I love it.
I'm gonna send. Yeah, he's got the Staying Alive, Night Fever, all that good stuff. Disco Inferno. So we're gonna have to burn this one up.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's some jams right there.
I'm gonna torture Steve with it. I'm gonna say, check out this hot new album, Steve.
I'll send this one to you. It's from 1979, so I'm sure he's about 130 years old by now. Yeah. So, Arthur Fiddler. Anybody wanting to buy it? I'll take a good $50 for it because that's a rare one, I'm sure.
Chris says sell that one to UB.
Oh, let's see here, Dana. What else? Oh, here's something. And I've never seen this movie, so I have no idea what it's even about. But apparently, it's got some pretty good people in it. Nick Nolte, Jo Beth Williams, Judd Hirsch, Ralph Macchio. It's called Teachers.
I've heard of that one, but I don't think I've seen it.
It may be a shit movie. I don't know. But I figured you.
But that's a cool cover, though.
Now the music isn't crap. It's got
my gosh, Freddie Mercury 38 Special.
It's got Teacher by 38 Special, and I'm pretty sure they made. Whenever we went and seen them in concert, they said that they made. Unless I'm mistaken, and it's a different movie. I think they said that they made that song for the album. I'm not really sure. Maybe I'm mistaken, but that's what they said. It's got some Joe Cocker and Night Ranger with Interstate Love Affair. That's a good one. Fooling Around by Freddie Mercury. Yeah, it's got Cheap Sunglasses by ZZ Top. It's got Understanding by Bob Seger and Silver Bullet Band. Let's see some other good. In the Jungle by the Motels. I like them. I'm the Teacher by Ian Hunter. So again, I've never seen the movie, so I have no idea.
Now I want to watch the movie. I don't know if Chris is talking about that movie, but he says it's all right. I have it on VHS.
Oh, really? Did the opening song. So that, Ben, I see he says that 38 Special did the opening song for Revenge of the Nerds 2. That might be what they did Teacher for. But it's on this album. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. But they said, hey, we did it for this movie. Here's a good one. Beatles' second album.
Oh, cool.
Now, this one is an original. It's old. That's some of their good stuff. Roll Over Beethoven, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, let me run and get something. You got me interested in showing some of my pens. Just give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, Steve doesn't torture me with Shinedown and Nickelback. I don't mind Shinedown, and I like Nickelback a lot. TJ, hey TJ, by the way, you say Teachers, Jo Beth Williams gets naked and runs down the school hallway. Well, there you go. For you fans of Jo Beth Williams and you want to see her naked, watch Teachers.
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. I don't even know how I got that record. Let's see. So when we were at Horror Hound, I've seen these before, but I told Chris, I said, I love these, and he knows how much I love these people, and how much I love Scooby-Doo. But somebody named Scary Pins. We're doing these like Scooby-Doo, like guest stars and stuff like that. Let's see. Here's one they done, and it's Sonny and Cher.
Oh, that's so cute.
So it's a little Sonny and Cher enamel pin, and just like a little, the little ghosts that they have. But here are my two favorites, and it's two of my favorite people. Show this one first, which is Jerry Reed.
Oh, wow.
And he
Yeah.
was one of my favorite guest stars on there. I
Yeah.
think he did a song called Miss Mary Sunshine. I have a Scooby-Doo
Yes.
soundtrack. It's
Mhm.
called Scooby Snacks. When I met Chris, I said, I had it in the CD player. I said, if he don't run, then I'm gonna give him a chance. Because if I play this
Ah.
Scooby-Doo CD on our first date and he don't run, then I'm gonna give him a chance. I stuck it in there and he was singing along. Said, "Oh my God, I love it." I said, "Okay, he's the one for me."
Yeah.
That was just one of
That's
many
sweet.
charms.
Mm.
But this one is one of my favorite people of all time. Is Dick Van Dyke.
Dick Van Dyke.
Mm.
Oh,
And I thought those were cute, and Chris got them for me. But here's an oldie. Everybody remember Jerry's Kids?
yeah. Yeah.
So Chris didn't know what Jerry's Kids was.
Oh, he didn't.
Not when we first started dating. He was like, "What is it?" He knew who Jerry Lewis was, but he
Right.
had never watched the. Did you grow up watching the telethons?
I remember them briefly. Yeah.
See, I grew up watching them, and come to find out that because I love Jerry Lewis, he's like one of my favorite people. But come to find out he's a big jerk, was a big jerk, and all this stuff. And I was like, "Oh no!"
Yeah.
But
Don't you hate that when that happens?
yeah, I absolutely hate that. It makes you feel like what's going on. Oh, here's a good one, Dana. We was just talking about them, Huey Lewis.
Oh, I love Huey Lewis.
Yeah, and this one's got that song that we're going to be doing on that podcast that me and my brother and sometimes Chris and hopefully you can come on if you want
Oh,
to.
yeah. Like I think I said in the message earlier, but I definitely want to come on.
Yeah. Well, it's got that "Doing It All for My Baby" on it. So
Mhm.
that's a good one. But you can go ahead and show what you want to, or if anybody else wants to come on here and
Yeah, let us know. I'll pull three more of these.
doesn't like Nickelback.
I like Nickelback. It's like
Oh my gosh.
there's a Nickelback. I'm not going to get explicit. I'm just saying there's certain songs that get people romantically in the mood.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, but that song "Animal,"
Yeah. By who?
Nickelback.
Oh, Nickelback. I've never heard that one. I thought you was talking about Def Leppard song or something.
Oh, I like that song too.
I've never heard that one. I enjoy some Nickelback. I don't think they're the worst band in the world. I've heard a lot worse.
Blissful don't like Nickelback either.
I don't dislike them. I've heard a lot worse.
There's a lot of people that don't like
anybody
Nickelback.
who can compare like Gigi Allen to Nickelback and say, well, Nickelback's the worst in the world, and they've clearly not heard Gigi Allen. And I'm not putting anybody down that likes him. I won't get into that.
Mayor says he's got a bunch of his records pulled out. So, Mayor, I put that link back in the chat there. But this one is a very pretty album cover, and this is for Dario Argento's Phenomena.
Mm-hmm.
And this is beautiful.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You can see the snow-capped mountains in the background and stuff. If you watch Phenomena, you'll get why it's showing these different things. But
yeah,
this is the original motion picture soundtrack. There's the back of it.
Now, Phenomena is the one with the Iron Maiden, right?
I think it does. Yeah.
And I don't mean to be laughing. I'm just. I've seen.
Oh well, there's some stuff.
I read one of Wes's.
It's in constant rotation in hell.
No, it's about where was that at? I won't say it, about Brian Peck.
Oh, I saw that.
I can't get that out of my mind now.
I like this color vinyl too for it, black, or I'm not black, but blue and green. Mm-hmm. And it's got little flecks of yellow in there.
Oh, yeah, I like that. And that's one of the prettier vinyls I've seen.
Mm-hmm. For a horror movie, or play a horror movie.
I love that movie. I've not seen it in so long, though. Gosh, it's been years. That's why I can't really right off remember. I think that's the one with the Iron Maiden.
But the second vinyl is like
Ooh.
an orange with little green
Mm-hmm.
flecks in it. But yeah, Steve was like, "Dang, I like that movie, but why'd you have to get that vinyl?"
Oh, that's a beautiful vinyl.
But anyway, that's phenomenal. And I see the mayor on there, and I'm gonna add him as soon as I get done talking about these couple here. I'll go through them pretty quickly. This is Pieces. I don't remember if I showed this one last time
I
or
can't
not.
remember if you did or not.
But you got the severed head.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Severed hand. And this came, I got a set from Arrow, and it also came, I'm not going to get it off there right now. I need to show it sometime. But the puzzle the little boy's putting together at the beginning of the naked lady and his mom gets mad. I have a full size puzzle box up there. But we've got the kind of translucent red vinyl.
Hey, Super Batman Nerd.
Hey, Batman. Does Annie Lennox get you in the mood, Wes? Okay.
I like Annie Lennox.
I like Annie Lennox too. I don't know if she would get me in the mood, but I like Annie Lennox. And so the last one I want to show for right now is for the Prowler.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how many of y'all have seen the Prowler.
I've seen it once.
Did you like it?
Like I said, it's not really what I like. Maybe that's the reason why I don't like the My Bloody Valentine remake, because even My Bloody Valentine isn't one. I'm more into supernatural type,
Supernatural stuff instead of like
I like slashers, but I don't know. I'm a little different.
But we got I like this color vinyl.
I like that one.
Almost like a camouflage with red flashes. And Waxwork Records put this one out too. A lot of the stuff I have is stuff that Waxwork Records put out.
I think they're the ones that did the Burbs album that I'm just dying to have.
I think they did, Candice.
Yeah, and I missed out on it. I know they did a Rosemary's Baby that I would love to have.
Okay, so that's
shut up, Chris.
Was it? Now, Chris.
I like what I like, and I can't help it.
The Prowler is not a shitty movie, Wes. Okay, so I'm gonna add Mayor on here real quick. Hey, Mayor.
Hi, how you doing? Hi,
Good. It's good to finally see you on camera now.
I know. It's very rare, but it happens occasionally.
I was going to tell you though, when I was looking at you backstage, you sort of reminded me of Bruce Campbell a little bit. You had your glasses on, and something about that view. Yeah, you need more of the chin, maybe. It would make you look. So, what you got to show off, Mayor?
Okay, well, start off with this one right here first. It's soundtrack. Got it just recently. Comes with the.
Oh, that's neat.
I like that.
And it is a blue and white splatter.
Ooh. Now I wish I had that one. I don't have that one.
I'm loving these colored vinyls.
I think it went out of print. I'm not sure.
I'm sure it did.
About a month or so ago, they had them on sale for like $20, and I grabbed it.
Oh yeah, they're gone then if they had them for that cheap.
And then I've got this one from Waxworks.
Ooh, that one's cool too. I love Alice, Sweet Alice.
Yeah. Got your.
Oh, cool.
And that one is also, I believe, a splatter. Yes, it is. This is what takes longer than anything, getting all the records out.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's got that yellow again.
Yeah, I love yellow, with the red especially.
Oh man, I see myself in the future going on eBay, and Steve's
That's
gonna
where I
kill
got started.
me.
That goes on eBay. And then I
Dana's just
had,
making a list.
Mm.
Oh, that's nice.
Lords of Salem, that's cool looking.
Mhm.
yeah, they had a box edition that was like made out of a wooden box edition. It was like 200 something bucks.
Ooh.
That thing sold out instantaneously. And
Mm.
I hope she's not totally naked.
I think that one will be okay.
Yeah, that's not
It wouldn't
showing.
be too
That's not
visible.
showing too much.
And this one not only did it come with vinyl, it came with a like a big
Oh,
book.
like a booklet.
Yeah, I'm like
Hmm.
facts, behind the scenes photos,
Well, that's neat.
and even like an ad for the DJs from the radio station they worked at.
Yeah, Batman, I'll send you the link. We might end up breaking the internet, but that's okay. We
Even the sleeve.
Oh, that's really nice.
yeah,
That went
even
into a
though
lot of detail.
I don't care for that movie, it has great imagery in it.
I've
though.
yet to see it. Chris seen it, but I've not seen it. Oh, is that like a dark red?
It's got red, white, and turquoise
Hmm.
or teal maybe.
Hmm.
Oh, I shouldn't have showed that last one. I just now realized that there's like a pile of nude ladies.
I'm gonna go ahead and add Batman on here real quick too, and we'll see if we break anything when I do this. Hey, Batman.
Batman.
Hey guys.
Hey, Batman.
So this is the
Hey
most
there.
people I've had on here in a while, I think, on camera.
She can fit 10.
Now this one is
Oh.
the band that's in the fake band that's in the movie.
Right.
And I don't know how well this will pick up, but it's got an acid etched image.
Ooh, it's dark black.
Mhm.
That's like black.
There we go.
It always got his face on it. Can you see that, Dana?
Yeah, I do. Cool.
That's neat.
And I've got one that Crater showed off last week. Mine's a little different because it's autographed.
Oh, yeah.
Oh hell yes, man.
Yeah, I like that one.
Man, that's awesome.
Signed by the composer. And let's see. Got a Friday 13th
Oh,
final chapter.
cool.
That's awesome, too.
That was my first one. Oh, what's coming out here? Something's coming out here. Got your
Oh, wow.
I love that.
I've never seen that one before.
I haven't seen that particular one. No.
Mm-mm.
Got it about 6 years ago. I won it on a giveaway on Instagram.
Oh, wow. It's always better when they're free.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, that's that clear.
Has Jason on the other side.
Oh, Daniel's gonna have to go shopping again.
Dana's going to break the bank.
Yeah, like I have to go shopping on that 1985 or
Yeah.
84 publishing
Mm.
or that
Yeah,
Silent Night Daily Night.
yeah. I just got that one in. I love mine. Haven't listened to it yet though. Ooh.
Oh.
Got this one from Vinegar Syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the full soundtrack. It's like 6 songs from the movie.
Hmm.
It's only on one side of the record, though.
So it's a one-sided record.
Yeah, the other side is this is the side you can't play. Is this?
Oh, neat.
Hmm.
It's like a biohazard symbol. That was dark.
That's a neat one.
Yeah. Yeah, if I'm not doing streams for a while, and I'm saying this facetiously, I don't want anybody to think my husband will really kill me. But if I disappear for a while, just assume it's please kill me. I'm buying too many records.
Now this
Or you're gonna
one
get Dana in trouble.
is an old one.
Oh, cool.
I
I've had
have
this-
Tommy on vinyl.
I've had this since I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
This is like original
Mm.
copy.
I have one just like that.
Yeah. That's what the scenes from the movie.
Hmm That's a good one.
Mhm. I agree.
Oh,
Yeah, John, I agree. The mayor is rocking the best shot from Tenebrae that's behind him on the wall. That's my favorite shot from Tenebrae.
Yeah. That's my Argento and Fulci wall. The other wall is just like whatever I put up. I just got this for like $2
Wow.
off of Whatnot. The Whatnot.
Oh, Whatnot. Yeah, I've been on there before.
Yeah, it's like it started at $1. Somehow I bid myself up to $2. I don't know what happened. Because nobody else bid it as far as I could tell.
Well, that's crazy. They shouldn't let you bid against yourself.
Yeah. And then unfortunately, I got this movie. It's a terrible movie. I haven't watched the movie yet. I got the soundtrack because it was $5.
Mhm.
It's a Kill Her Goats movie.
Right.
They had them clearanced. Everything was clearanced. So I bought the movie and the soundtrack. And it's another gatefold. But it's got colored vinyl, but that's not that big of a deal. Oh, I thought it was a second vinyl coming inside of it. Because it came in a sleeve, like a vinyl sleeve. But then once you pull it out,
Huh.
they're lobby cards.
Wow.
Oh, awesome.
That's something. I love lobby cards.
Mhm.
That's something you don't see a lot of anymore.
There's about 5 or 6 different lobby cards in here. I like how they had lobby cards for movies that premiered on video.
That's
Right.
something that if anybody collects those, Dana, that's something that we can start showing, like old lobby cards and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I got some. I'd have to dig.
Dorville posters, stuff like that. There's so much that we could show on here.
Now this one is not a soundtrack, but it does have a song from Return of the Living Dead, Party Time.
Yeah.
45th grade. Yeah.
Remember there it is, Party Time, and this also has the cover of School's Out for Summer.
Cool.
They also did the theme song for the Night of the Demons remake.
Oh yeah, they did. And this one is not movie related, but it'll be hard to see it. But it's signed by the singer Mike Muir.
Is that Suicidal Tendencies?
Yep.
I love Suicidal Tendencies. That's awesome.
Got this and the second album, both signed by him.
Chris would like that too. He's a huge fan as well. That's awesome.
I wish they had phones back in the day. Because so many times I met somebody and I'm like, got no pictures of them.
I've seen them once in concert. I think they're awesome.
And the last one I got is a soundtrack, which I've actually it was my sister's album. And I always know she liked this. Son of Schmilson.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Trying to think his name. Nilsson. Nilsson. This is a movie as well. I've never seen it. Can't find it anywhere. I think it's called Son of Dracula.
Now, is that Harry Nilsson?
Yeah, it's Harry Nilsson. That's his name.
I love Harry Nilsson. I thought that's what it was. I couldn't hear. I was like, I've seen that before. Is that Harry Nilsson? I love Harry Nilsson. He's like, he's brilliant.
I'm looking on the back of this, and all I saw was Nilsson. I'm like, Where's this man?
I've seen that before. I've never like. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. I don't have that one. I got a lot of Harry Nilsson records. He's one of the only people that I love their Beatle cover of Mother Nature's Son. I love his cover more than the Beatles. And I love the Beatles, but
oh yeah,
I absolutely love his cover of that.
Yeah. But that's everything soundtrack related though.
Well, that was a cool collection, even if it was a little bit smaller. That's awesome.
Well, thank you.
Have any more that you want to show now or next time that we do another one? You're free to come back on here.
Okay, thank you. I'll definitely do that.
Batman, you got anything you want to show off on here?
Yeah, I bought this VHS box set on eBay for $15, and I've seen another one that ran for 70, but it's brand new. And I was thinking, ooh, I want to get that one too.
Oh, that's the Porky's one. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I like that. Do you know I accidentally showed Porky's to my class when I was in 6th grade?
Did you really?
My grandpa, we had read Where the Red Fern Grows, and my papa had it recorded on tape.
Oh.
And I gave the tape to the teacher, and I missed the next day when she was going to show it because I was sick. And I come back, they had destroyed the tape. They said that when they turned it on, it was in the scene where they're like in the shower.
Oh my God.
I swear. I mean, Chris can back me up. I got in trouble. My mom was called and everything, I think. I think she was. I can't remember if they wrote something or she was called or something, but I got in trouble. My papa was like, "Where's my tape?" I was like, "They destroyed it."
Oh man. Yeah.
I had a T-shirt from they had like a sneak preview of the part 2 of Porky's, making about T-shirts, but who knows where that went? That was like 30 something years ago.
Right. Yeah. I don't mean this a bad way, but my dad was the one that introduced me to Porky's, but I did not like Porky's the first time I watched it. I just don't think I got it. And then I waited a little while and I watched it again. And I'm not saying my dad said, "Hey, Dana, come sit down and watch Porky's with me." No, my dad just watched a variety of a lot of comedy movies.
Don't feel bad, Dana. Cheech and Chong was family movies for us.
Oh, it was family
my mom.
movies.
She didn't. It was my dad, me, and my brother. We just watched Cheech and Chong.
My sister hated me because
the $70 one I seen on eBay. It was it's brand new and it's factory sealed, and I was like, "Ooh, damn."
Yeah. Did you see that after you got this one?
Yeah. Or I seen it after I saved that listing.
Oh wow. Chris says, "Dang, that's a cool Porky set, Batman." He likes that set.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna try to get like Porky's on every format.
Maybe they'll come out with a 4K of it.
Wonder if they have a laser disc.
Probably.
Yeah, I was like, I think I know they have CEDs. You guys seen those?
I haven't seen those. No.
I've seen pictures of them.
It's like these it's like kind of like vinyl records, but they're in these plastic things. And then you shove it into the player, and the player takes the vinyl disc out and plays it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I've not seen them in person, but I think I've.
It's kind of like a big floppy disc.
Yeah, you just stick it in like this, and it takes it. I've seen. Chris is on here.
Yeah, I think
watching something. Somebody had one of those.
I think they stopped doing it like 1985.
Yeah, it was like it was a short-lived thing. It might have been who showed one of those? It might have been Angry Video Game Nerd or somebody like that had one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I told my buddy, I was like, Yeah, I just want to like try to get like every Porky's on every format.
Chris says they definitely have a Porky's laser disc.
Yeah.
And Ben says Kino had a Porky's 2 and 3 double feature on Blu-ray.
And I think 88 Films has a standard singular Porky's Revenge on Blu-ray.
Wes says crank Mayer's volume. He's coming in low. Well, how do I do that, Wes? How do you crank somebody else's volume? Maybe if I go in here, let's see. Well, no. It's grayed out, Wes. It won't let me do anything. I don't know if Mayer can adjust anything on his side, like his volume, but
I'm not sure even how to do it. I'm on my phone. Use my phone to do that.
I went into the settings on your little screen there, but it's grayed out for me.
Huh.
Do you know if CK has a Madman on every format?
Wes, do you have Madman on every format there is? We're curious.
I'm sure he's got a huge collection.
Sorry if y'all hear my dog bark in the background. He's crazy.
Yeah, I told my buddy, I was like, yeah, I won't be like the CK of Porky's.
Well, we lost Mayor. Hopefully he'll come back in a second.
And
see, dang it,
couple of
Wes,
nights
you
ago,
said to mess with his volume. Now we lost him.
a couple of nights ago, after I watched your and TJ's Creep Show stream, I found a YouTube channel that's actually uploaded Porky's 2 and 3 on YouTube.
Mm.
Wow.
So if anybody wants to check it out, they can watch it on YouTube. The channel is called Jack the Rabbit.
Jack the Rabbit. Okay.
I think I have a Porky's record somewhere. If I find it, I'll bring it on here and show it.
Wes says, I'm pretty sure Porky's ain't getting re-released anymore. We're not listening to you, Wes.
I probably figured that because of Mickey Mouse.
I just like giving Wes a hard time.
Yeah, I was like, damn, somebody better pay that damn mouse so I can get my 4K of Porky's.
I have trauma due to Porky's. I didn't know what was going on. It was just like everybody just walked in class and everybody just like turned around and looked at me like, there she is. But everybody loved it. They was like, that was awesome. Did you? No, I didn't
know. Well, we've got a few more minutes on here. I thought we'd kind of call it a day at about 3, if that's okay with Candice.
Yeah, just whenever.
So hopefully Mayor can join us before we get off here. But if not, well, we've told him he's welcome back. And
yeah, anytime.
He said, sorry, I was trying to adjust the volume and I ended up kicking myself out. Mayor, do you want to come back on? Do you want me to put that link in there again? I can do that if you want to. We'll probably be on here about another 5 or 6 minutes if you want to come on. But Candice, is there, I've just got a couple of things to show.
Go ahead.
But I was going to say you could if you wanted to.
No, I think I have some, like, I think what I got left, like some Queen records and Fleetwood Mac, stuff like that. Nothing real. Like it's interesting to me, but nothing that's like different or anything like that. I'll have to go and find some more stuff to do when we do the next one.
But I got a couple more vinyl soundtracks I can show. One is for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And I
love that.
Everybody that was getting these, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to have it. Now, this doesn't have some of the music on it, like that Shame song. That was by a... I'm forgetting the name of the band. Batman, do you remember the name of the band that did that Shame song from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2? Or TJ, if you're still in here. Him and Batman are my two information people. They always know stuff I don't know. But This has like gray, I guess, like chainsaw vinyl.
Like a silver. Yeah, that's neat.
Yeah. And let me see. Oh, I'll show y'all the gatefold sleeve. The gatefold sleeve is pretty cool. We've got nubbins on there with Leatherface coming up behind him. Mayor says, I've showed everything off. Hopefully, I'll have something for next time, but I appreciate you having me on. Oh, you're welcome back anytime. This has got, it's still got the chainsaw, like gray or silver vinyl. But then you've got character I think is a badass. Speaking of badass characters in horror movies that are women, Stretch from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. I love Caroline Williams' character.
Oh yeah,
from that. Timbuk 3. Shame on you. That's right, Chris. Thank you, sir. Thank you for remembering that. I always did like that song at the beginning of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. John says, TCM2, the best horror sequel ever. I don't care what anyone says. Mm-hmm. So the last one I wanted to show, and this has no writing on it whatsoever. I wonder if anybody can figure out what this is. What the sound?
The White Album.
No, but that's a good guess. That's a good
Reminds
guess.
me of that Ghostbusters card.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Ray's shocking that dude.
This is actually, I don't know if that'll give you a hint or not. This is actually the Twin Peaks, the music of Twin Peaks. Which
that's a show I need to restart.
Yeah, did you watch the new, like the continuation of it that David Lynch put out?
No, I've not even finished the original series. I started it years ago and got about halfway through. And I don't know what happened. I don't know if we lost like subscription to whatever it was on or something, but I never got to finish it. I need to start that over because I really enjoyed that.
But speaking of cool colored vinyl.
Ooh.
I had forgotten how cool this vinyl.
Oh my gosh. That looks like something like back in the 60s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know those like vases or vases, whatever you want to call them, that had they look like lava or whatever.
This is the original score by Angelo Baldamenti, who of course did a lot of that music for Twin Peaks, which I always loved that because there was great like orchestral sounding music in that, or instrumentals, whatever you want to call it. But there was also that quirky, that of course Twin Peaks was a quirky show.
Yeah, definitely.
David Lynch. But still, I absolutely love that show. I love the music in it. I just love everything about it. If you've never seen Twin Peaks, I'd highly recommend it. Let's see. Well, Mayor said Timbuk 3 from TCM2. He said, I'm trying to remember who all was on the soundtrack. John says, if you disagree, you're just wrong about that being the best sequel. Wes says, one of my favorites is Meatballs 3, and that's never been released on anything since the VHS. TJ says, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 has some good music. Oingo Boingo and the Cramps, Goo Goo Muck came before that damn Wednesday show. Wes said, there's an old school TCM2 record that has all of the band music on it. I have it. You must give it to me now, Wes fans. But no, I'm just kidding. Chris says, TJ, it's so wild that the Cramps are finally becoming trendy now.
Yeah, I was introduced to the Cramps in the 90s and probably mid 90s by my cousin, who introduced me to a lot of punk and off the wall kind of bands that I wasn't used to. So, and nobody ever knew who they were around where I was from. But now everybody, my nephew knows that song because of Wednesday, which
Yeah.
a lot of people, they're like, oh, the gatekeeper, whatever. But I think it's fun that people start to find out who people are. But now people that, kind of looked at you strange, you're like, oh, that's one of my favorite bands.
Well,
But
it's
they
just
look
like
at you before and be like, oh, who is
that
that?
that song, "Running Up the Hill" or whatever, that's in Stranger Things, that
That
song
is
all over the place
when
now.
I met Chris, I didn't know who she was,
Mhm.
Kate Bush.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, because I said, what's your favorite song? He said, well, it's Running Up That Hill by um, Kate Bush. And I
Mm.
said, well, I know Running Up That Hill by a band called Placebo. He was like, well, that's a cover. I said, okay. So that was Chris. That it still is, I guess, pretty sure it's still his favorite song. That's his favorite song. And he would post it all the time. Nobody would ever say anything. But now everybody knows what that song is. And
Oh,
Kate Bush
yeah.
is awesome. I love Kate Bush now. Once he got me into her, I love her. I think she's just extraordinarily unique.
John says some of those Kate Bush OG vinyls are pricey now. Yeah, I would
Probably.
imagine. TJ said, then damn TikTok ruined it by putting a Gaga song over the Wednesday dance scene.
Yeah, I freaking
Yeah.
hated that Gaga song over it.
Yeah.
Well,
I think she's the one that done that too.
mhm. Candice, Batman, is there anything anybody wants to show or talk about in closing before we get off here?
No, but I've had a really awesome time. I
Me
want
too.
Batman Nerd, Mayor, Chris for
Mm.
coming on, for everybody that's in the chat. I mean, we've
We
had a really
might
good
need
show
more
this time.
people next time we do one of these.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that we have, it doesn't have to be like a show and tell. And if we're doing like something about like killer clowns or something like that, and you want us to show something, maybe you have something that has to do with what we're talking about, or you just want to join in with us.
Yeah,
Feel
when
free.
we do the clown one, I'm gonna have some soup or something in this soup mug so I can
I'll,
have it on here.
yeah, I'll get my son's shorty animatronic and stick it behind me, and
And then all the people that are scared of clowns will be gone.
his whole room now is like killer clown stuff all over it. So we've got rugs and everything. So I'll have to borrow that for the show. Maybe we can dress up like clowns now.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd be willing to do that. And like, I want to remind everybody, and this is not a bribe or anything, but I did promise TJ a few streams back that if I get to 1,000 subscribers, I will cosplay Cheryl from the Evil Dead. So if y'all want to see me cosplay Cheryl, I'm not gonna. I will do Cheryl or anybody else that's fully clothed, but please don't ask me to cosplay Linnea Quigley or nothing like that. Because
And I'll double it, which I don't think anybody would care. But if you get that many followers on the next Friday Foolish, after that, I'll dress up like Mrs. Roper.
oh my gosh, that would be awesome.
I'll do it.
Okay, so Candice is willing to cosplay Mrs. Roper. I'm willing to cosplay Cheryl from the Evil Dead. Come on, guys. Let tell all your friends about this channel so we can get 1,000 subscribers. So me and
Yeah, I got a whole closet full of moo-moos just screaming for me to cosplay as her. So if you know who that is.
Thank you, Blissful, for saying awesome live, everyone. Let's see. Mayor says, I'm trying to get some of the Cramps on vinyl. All my Cramps are on CD right now. TJ says, I'll show my pin collection off next time. I know CK loves those. Yeah, he's one of those people that don't like those damn enamel pins, but
Love them.
I do have a few of them. Mayor says, didn't they do a spin-off series of the Ropers?
I think so, yeah.
I thought they did, yeah.
They did spin-offs for everything back then.
But Batman, you have anything else you want to say or promote or talk about before we get off here?
A few days ago, I found out that Tony Ganios and Cyril O'Reilly,
Mm-hmm.
who play Meat and Tim from Porky's, they directed a movie called Daddy's Girls, and it has basically almost all the male Porky's cast in it, but I can't find it to watch on stream or to buy. And I was like, damn man, what the hell?
Yeah, why can't we find that? Somebody get that out in a format so we can watch that. I'd want to see it.
It's like if you look it up, you only find like the photo of the poster and stuff, and that's it.
That's all you can find. That's weird.
And have you seen a movie called Baby Geniuses?
Yeah.
I know. I have not watched them, and I know what movie you're talking about, though.
Bob Clark did that one too. It has Kim
right.
Cattrall in it, Dan Monahan, Pee Wee, and it had the guy that played Reverend Bubba Flavor from Part 2. I was like, damn, almost like the whole cast of Porky's again.
Exactly. Yeah, Batman's I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. He's our resident Porky's expert because he knows all the stuff about Porky. Yeah. John says, good show. I'll join one of these next time to show some stuff. Yeah, John, we'd love to have you on. I ain't had John on in a long while, and I'd love to have him back on. But I guess
we get off here, Dana, if you don't mind, and I don't think you care for me plugging this.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you have anything you want to promote before we get off here?
Well, just anybody who's interested. I've started a new, like a channel of my own or whatever. It's called Death by Stereo Podcast. I'm hoping to have Dana on it some. We don't really have a lot, but we're going to be doing it weekly. So the first series that we're doing is called Video Dead, and what the first season of it that we're in. I just debuted the very first episode that me, my brother, and Chris did last night. What it is the first season we're focusing on non-horror songs with surprising horror-themed videos. So the very first episode we're doing Eddie Money song. So, and what we do is kind of do like a watch along, like how Dana and them does. You know, you take the link and watch the video with no volume, and we just talk about the video. So if anybody is interested in watching our little stuff, you know, it's videos, and eventually we may do lives. I'm not for sure, but as for now, that Video Dead, I think we're going to try to do it every Friday. It's a new video, you know, dropping. So if you don't care, just search up Death by Stereo Podcast, and it should pop up on there. But I'd appreciate it.
Do you have a link? Blissful's asking for a link.
A link? Let's see. I'm sure I do. Not to plug myself on a Dana's channel.
No, you can do that. I always like people to promote their own stuff.
I'm hoping that Dana, she said that she was interested. I'm hoping to have her on there to help us analyze some of these videos. So hopefully that's the right thing.
So there's a link for everybody to check out the Death by Stereo. Do you call it a podcast, Candice?
We do, but and we're on Spotify. I've not uploaded any the Video Dead, but we have a couple different series that we're working on. We've already made videos and stuff for. I just have to get them up there and uploaded. But hopefully we're going to be uploading weekly. So
that sounds good. And yep, whenever you'll have me on there, Candice, I'll come on.
Yeah,
I was about to ask about that in the tea time. I was like, is that Candice? New channel?
Yeah. I thought that I was on my, I guess where I had uploaded that video today, I was still signed into that one. So I said, oh gosh, I'm signed into this one.
You got some people subscribing, Candice. Mayor subscribe. TJ says, I'll watch it now. So
thank you. I appreciate it. And we're new. It's going to be, you know, kind of iffy at first, but hopefully once we get it going, things are going to be. What the channel focuses on is music and horror. So it's kind of, that's why it's Death by Stereo. And
Victor just subscribed as well. So y'all
thank you.
Get some John subscribed. See,
I
that's why
appreciate
it's good to come on other people's shows, or even if you're doing a show with somebody like me and Candice do a show together, to promote your other stuff, because it's a great way to get more subscribers.
They're going to be little short videos. It's nothing that's really long or anything like that at first, but we may do streams as it goes on. Me and my brother, we're currently doing a dirt retrospective, Alice in Chains Dirt. So we'll be doing album, retrospectives and horror movies, and we're going to focus a lot on the classic horror type aspect too. So hope to see a lot of people there, and thank you again for subscribing, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yep. Next thing you know, Candice and them will be up to 800 or so subscribers. I have
one day, hopefully,
will.
a few years from
now. But Blissful says she'll brag it up, and
thank you.
TJ said 30 minutes, perfect length.
Yeah, we wanted to kind of keep it short. Some stuff's going to be a little bit longer, but it's, most of it's little short things, especially the Video Dead stuff.
Mayor says it's a good thing you had the link, because I typed in Death by Stereo and a bunch of videos for a band called Death by Stereo.
Yeah. I had never heard of the band until we made the channel. I was like, is there a band called that?
But anyway, I want to thank, once again, the mayor for being on here. I want to thank Batman for being on here. I want to thank Candice for being my co-host once again for Friday Foolish. I've had a fantastic time today. I want to thank everybody that came out in the chat. And even if you weren't live on the stream, everybody was talking and having a good time, it sounded like, or it looked like.
I've had a great time.
Blissful is correct. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and rest assured, I'm having a couple of watch-alongs this weekend. Hide and Go Shriek will be Saturday at 7 Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm not going to have these in the morning, because you guys wouldn't want to see me at 7 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Chris. And Sunday will be Lisa, also starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Well, I'm glad you had a fantastic time, Mayor. You have an open invitation to come on, as Batman does, as any of you that are in here right now. I don't have a reason to mistrust you to come on here.
As long as we behave ourselves.
Yeah.
Exactly. As long as everybody behaves. And hey, Coco, I was just thinking about you too. I hate it that we're getting ready to get off here, but I hope that you'll come back when we do some more of these. Oh, thank you, Victor. Victor says Friday Foolish is a hit, Dana. Well, I hope so. I definitely hope so. I'm having a lot of fun with it, regardless of how popular it is. I'm having a heck of a good time.
I think it's been really fun.
Mm-hmm. So I guess with that being said, we'll all skedaddle on out of here for now. But I just want to remind everybody to be kind to one another and blaze that trail. And you guys are all very special and very important people. And I don't mean special in a bad way. I mean, you are special and unique people, okay? And so we're going to get out of here, and we'll see everybody next time. So bye, everybody.
Bye.